Hey, what's up guys, and welcome to Xbox On. It's now February and the game releases for this year are really starting to get rolling.
So in this video, we're going to run down some of the biggest games coming to Xbox this month.
One of the games we're most excited about this month is 2 Point Hospital, coming to Xbox for the very first time.
Grab your stethoscope and slip on those scrubs and white coat, because this game puts you in charge of your very own hospital.
You build the healthcare facility of your dreams, then try to keep it running smoothly.
As well as diagnosing and treating patients, you need to make sure your doctors are happy and well trained, and keep enough money coming in to keep the lights on.
If that sounds familiar, it's because 2 Point Hospital is being made by some of the original creators of Theme Hospital, a stone-cold 90s classic.
The campaign has 15 hospitals to challenge your brain, all with unique tasks. But this game will give your funny bone a workout too.
The conditions your hospital deals with are a little more uncommon than the cold. We're talking illnesses that turn patients into a mummy or a Freddie Mercury impersonator.
You'll need to unscrew light bulb heads and deal with ghosts. You know, the kind of thing hospital administrators are always dealing with.
So whether you're a fan of deep management sims or just up for a laugh, 2 Point Hospital could be just what the doctor ordered on February 25th.
And it's also coming to Xbox Game Pass.
What the hell are you? Death.
In February 2019, a little game called Apex Legends surprised us all when it came out of nowhere and straight onto our Xbox.
And instead of cake and balloons, the game is celebrating its first birthday with a brand new season.
The biggest and most exciting change, of course, is the addition of a brand new legend. The robotic killing machine known only as Revenant.
This cyborg hitman is so sneaky, he managed to assassinate the character originally being teased for Season 4 and take their place.
So for those of you wondering what Revenant's abilities are, his passive allows you to move faster whilst crouching and also climb walls higher. His tactical is Silence, which allows you to, you may have guessed it, silence other legends so they can't use their abilities for 10 seconds, and then Death Totem, which, well, it just prevents death.
The season also introduces the Sentinel sniper rifle and, as of next month, is bringing back fan favourite map Kings Canyon.
Plus, there's a brand new battle pass with tons of skins and cosmetics to unlock, and a new ranking system which introduces the Master Tier and makes the top Apex Predator rank exclusive for the top 500 players on Xbox. Now, that's my kind of birthday party.
Next up, a game you're going to want to grab a few friends for.
Sure, you can play through all of Zombie Army 4 Dead War on your own, but for the best chance of surviving, you'll want to play co-op on Xbox Live with a full complement of 4 squad mates.
There's plenty to get your teeth into here, not just the huge campaign which takes you on a tour of zombie-infested Europe, but also a great horde mode to really test your survival skills.
On top of the standard shamblers you'd expect, the game throws everything from flamethrower zombies to undead tanks in your direction.
As well as sometimes your teammates.
Oh,
Sick.
wait, but there's more zombies.
Oh, God. Did I just shoot you? I don't know if you shot me, but someone did.
To stay alive, you'll need to master the elemental abilities of your weaponry, environmental traps, and of course those trademark X-ray headshots.
I hope you like brains, because from February 4th, you're going to be seeing a lot of them explode in slow motion.
While Apex Legends celebrates its first birthday this month, The Sims has hit the ripe old age of 20.
And the game has certainly kept busy over the years. This February, we got the 16th expansion pack for The Sims 4, Tiny Living.
And where most expansions focus on making the game bigger and better, this pack is all about downsizing.
It takes the real-life tiny house movement, which is all about living in a space that's no larger than what you absolutely need, and applies it to the world of The Sims.
It's a whole new challenge for Sims players with 3 tiers of tiny living to try.
Once you've managed to squeeze all your stuff into a 100-tile house, you can test yourself with 64 or even 32 tile limits.
Just for reference, a normal double bed in The Sims takes up 6 tiles, so 32 is very small indeed.
Luckily, this pack comes with everything you need to make it work. Compact loos, all-in-one storage units, and, most important of all, the fold-up Murphy bed.
Just beware of it closing in the night and gobbling up anyone sleeping in it. It's a real risk.
And if you do take on the challenge of tiny living, your Sims won't only be more ecologically and economically friendly, but will get bonus perks like boost the skill and relationship levels.
There's also the added bonus for Xbox players of mouse and keyboard support for The Sims 4. So if you prefer to play that way, then go out there and live your best tiny life.
Okay, so The Sims has been around for 20 years now, but for our next game, we need to go back a whopping 32 years to 1988.
Before Fallout, and yes, we do mean the first one, before that there was a post-apocalyptic RPG called Wasteland.
In it, you create your own party of desert rangers, customize their skills in everything from cracking safes to repairing toasters, and then lead them across a nuclear wasteland to uncover a new threat to what's left of humanity and hopefully defeat it.
Wasteland is still remembered today for the number of ways it let you approach every task, and for being one of the first games ever to feature a persistent world.
And from the 25th, you'll be able to play a remastered version of this classic, with updated visuals and audio that includes an expanded musical score. It's the perfect introduction to the Wasteland series to prepare yourself for the arrival of the next game in May.
The whole thing has been tweaked to play nicely on an Xbox controller, and all you need to play through the complete trilogy is an Xbox Game Pass subscription. The second game is already on there, and 3 is coming to the service on day 1.
I've been having these weird thoughts lately. Like, is any of this for real? Or not?
Next up, Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind, an expansion for last year's Disney-flavored JRPG, which picks up at the game's climactic battle and shows a completely different side to the story.
So if you're looking for something to fill that mouse-shaped hole in your life, Remind brings a new chapter of the main tale, plus 2 extra episodes introducing new areas, battles, and some cameos from Final Fantasy characters.
And for those really hardcore Kingdom Hearts players, there are 13 rock-hard bosses to sharpen your Keyblade on. Check it out from February 25th.
If you're in the market for a Diablo-style action RPG this month, then you'll want to check out Darksiders Genesis, the 4th game in the series, which has hopped genres and switched to a top-down perspective, but kept that all-important core of bashing demons and being rewarded with loot for it.
For the first time in the series, you can get playing with a friend thanks to co-op mode, where each player controls a horseman of the apocalypse.
War is all about close-up brawling, while Strife is the perfect horseman for any fans of twin-stick shooters. You?
Me?
No.
Dead Cells is one of the best roguelikes of the last few years, with lightning-fast combat and a touch of Metroidvania exploration to keep you coming back time and time again.
And since it released on Xbox, the game has received 16 free updates, adding new bosses, areas, weapons, and more.
The base game is available as part of Xbox Game Pass, but now it's getting its first ever paid expansion, The Bad Seed, with plenty of reason to pick Dead Cells back up one more time.
There are 2 new biomes, sets of levels with their own ecosystem of enemies that will give you different paths to follow from the starting area.
There are new bosses, weapons that include an enormous scythe, and a little mushroom creature that thinks you're its mummy.
Aw. The studio says it will continue to get free updates, so it's more than worth splashing a little cash on this expansion.
Come, you're one of a kind. If you die here, who's going to save the world?
Next, we've got 2 games in one for you, Bayonetta and Vanquish.
These are action classics, both made by legendary studio Platinum Games and released in 2010, which means it's the perfect time for an anniversary remaster on Xbox.
Bayonetta was the brainchild of the Devil May Cry creator, and if you've ever played one of Dante's adventures, you should know roughly what to expect.
So, yep, speedy and stylish combat where you juggle enemies with a mix of close combat attacks and ranged weapons.
The difference is that Bayonetta is a shape-shifting witch at war with Heaven, who can slow down time and use her hair as a weapon.
If you've ever wanted to see a ponytail transform into a guillotine, this is the game for you.
And continuing the all-star theme, Vanquish was created by the man responsible for Resident Evil.
But instead of a survival horror screamfest though, Vanquish is a game about putting on a rocket-powered mech suit to blast baddies.
It's like a cover shooter on constant fast forward as you zoom around levels on your knees, taking out enemies.
It's a perfect pairing of over-the-top action classics, given a top-quality remaster.
Whether you've never tried these games before or remember them fondly, there's no better way to experience Bayonetta and Vanquish than in buttery smooth 4K 60 frames per second on the Xbox One X.
And finally, a bit of a mystery for you. The case of a missing woman in 1920s Norway.
Drogen is a story game where you play an American scientist trying to track down his lost sister, a journalist who went missing in the fictional Norwegian village of Gravik.
It's a very pretty place, except for the fact that every one of its inhabitants have disappeared by the time you arrive.
As you investigate with the help of your companion, Lissy, you'll start to unlock Gravik's dark secrets and possibly start wondering what exactly is real and what's imagined.
To say any more would be spoiling the story. You'll just have to find out for yourself on February 21st.